Unit 4, Solving Systems of Equations. In substitution, you solve one equation for either variable and substitute it into the other equation. Here are some steps that you can use to help you with substitution. Pick an equation to solve for one variable. Look for one x or one y. Plug the equation from step 1 into the other equation and solve for the variable. Plug answer from step 2 into one of the original equations and solve for the other variable. So let's pick an equation to solve for. I'm choosing this equation because it has a 1 in front of the x, and that will be simpler to solve. So let's write that equation down and solve for one of the variables. In this particular case, it's easier to solve for 1x than it is to solve for 2y. If I solve for y, I will end up with a fraction. So when we solve x minus 2y equals 5 for x, we have x equals 2y plus 5. Now let's go to the second step. Plug the equation from step 1 into the other equation and solve for the variable. So if I used x minus 2y in the first equation, I'm going to put the second equation right there. We are going to substitute 2y plus 5 in for 4x. Now we're just solving for y. First, distribute to every term within the parentheses. Combine like terms, and 11y plus 20 is equal to 9. Subtract 20 from both sides. When you divide both sides by 11, we get y equals negative 1. So I have part of the solution. Now let's take this answer and plug it into either one of the original equations to solve. So we have y. Let's plug it into the top equation. X minus 2y equals 5. Plugging negative 1 in for y, we have x minus 2 times negative 1 equals 5. So x plus 2 equals 5. And when we subtract 2 from both sides, we get x is equal to 3. So I have two solutions here. I have x and y. We write these in an ordered pair. Remember, in ordered pairs, the x comes first. So 3, negative 1. We can also use elimination to solve for a system of equations. Elimination is also called addition and subtraction, and we can eliminate one variable by adding or subtracting the equations. So we're going to solve the system of equations by using elimination. So we pick a variable to eliminate. We combine the equations together, and then we plug the answers in step 2 into one of the equations and solve. So looking at this problem, I need to decide first what variable I want to eliminate. I can either eliminate the x's or the y's. To eliminate a variable, we need to have opposite pairs. Since 8 is a multiple of 4, I can multiply the bottom equation by negative 2. So let's rewrite the top equation. 12x plus 8y is equal to negative 8. The bottom equation, negative 2 times 3x, this is the one we're changing because we want to eliminate the y's. Negative 2 times 4 is negative 8y. And negative 2 times 2 is negative 4. Let's draw our line and let's combine these equations. 12 minus 6 is 6x. The 8's now go away, and that was our goal. And negative 8 plus a negative 4 is negative 12. Divide by 6, and x is equal to negative 2. Now we go to our next step, which is plug our answer into the equation and solve into either one of the equations. Let's plug it into the bottom equation. 3 times x plus 4y equals 2. Let's replace x with negative 2. So 3 times negative 2 plus 4y equals 2. Negative 6 plus 4y is equal to 2. And when we add 6 to both sides, we get 4y equals 8. Dividing both sides by 4, and we get y equals 2. Now I have the ordered pair for this system of equations. X is negative 2 and y is 2. In the last equation, let's get rid of the y's again. The reason why I want to get rid of the y's is because this is a 1y there. So if I multiply this 1y by 3 and multiply through by 3, then I will end up with opposite pairs to eliminate. Rewrite the second equation. Now multiply through by 3 on the top equation. 3 times 6 is 18x. 3 times 1y is positive 3y. And 3 times negative 5 is negative 15. So combine these two equations together to get 22x is equal to negative 22. And divide by 22, and x is equal to negative 1. And now let's plug negative 1 into one of the original equations. Doesn't matter which one. I'm going to use 4x minus 3y is equal to negative 7. And let's replace x with negative 1. So 4 times negative 1 minus 3y is equal to negative 7. Negative 4 minus 3y equals negative 7. Add 4 to both sides, and negative 3y is equal to negative 3. Divide by 3, and y is equal to 1. So the solution to this system of equations is negative 1, 1.